Salutations. It's been a couple of days since I made a video, so a video is well overdue. There've been some developments over in Africa again. Remember, I try to stay talking about Africa. Again, we want to think internationally. And again, this information is coming from the Sahel region. Ibrahim Traore over in Burkina Faso. A couple of days ago, he acknowledged Afrikan Amerikans and actually has invited us home. What they're doing over there is they are going to overhaul their system. They're building a completely new society. Why is this important? It is important because those of us with the knowledge and skills of critical infrastructure, and again, we're going to get into critical infrastructure. One of the reasons why I created this channel in the first place, those of us who have the necessary scientific and motor skills, he's inviting us back to Africa to help them build their society. Not just in Burkina Faso, but Mali and the rest of the alliance that support the Sahel Alliance. What's up going on over there? But he's inviting us back. And he's inviting us back. This is their way of acknowledging the diaspora that exists in America, as well as apologizing for historical mistakes that were made by our people over in Africa. You know, it's a lot of, I don't know, there's a little tension between African Americans and, you know, our African brothers from the continent. But he's inviting us back. Me personally, if I was Traore, I would be extremely careful when you are discussing inviting African Americans back to your society in large numbers. Let's not forget, the African American was a successful experiment. And what I mean by that is that the African American is the advent of colonialism and slavery. Let me say it again. The African American is the advent of colonialism and slavery. The entire culture, or what we call African American culture, is really neo-colonial culture. Every holiday we celebrate, I mean, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, New Year, Juneteenth, every holiday we celebrate in African American culture, and I hate to refer to these people as African Americans because there's nothing African about them. But African American culture, it is a subculture that evolved under the systems of slavocracy, Jim Crow, neo-colonial oppression, colonial oppression, which is direct and indirect. Neo-colonialism is indirect rule by a former, you know, governing authority, and colonialism is direct rule. We've never lived under neo-colonialism in America. We have always lived up under the dictatorship of the people who brought us over here. So our experience with neo-colonialism is different from Africa, because even though we have black mayors, black police chiefs, do we have any black governors? We had a black president, and now we have, you know, another blackity black, and I got that from from boy Dennis Sperling. Blackity black. We got a blackity black right now just running for office, and she is a blackity black. But anyway, if I was Traore or any other African country that has lifted visa restrictions on black people coming from America, you have to be extremely careful because, again, African American culture, African American politics is the creation of colonialism. We've never governed ourselves. We don't have the ability to govern ourselves over here. First of all, we can't feed ourselves. We are totally dependent upon their infrastructure to feed us, house us, and clothe us. If you invite blacks from America into your country in large numbers, with the mindset that we have now, they are going to completely destroy your society. They're going to destroy your society because the African American, the culture, is a cancer. And that cancer is 100% fatal. Not 98%, not 90%. If you invite 100,000 black people from America into your society, anywhere in the world, that cancer is going to spread so fast that you could be an ancient society, and in 10 years, your society would be destroyed. So unless these people undergo a cultural revolution, ideologically wise, do not be so quick to invite the black population of America into your society. You know, if they was going to like Afghanistan, something I recommend, then we wouldn't have that problem because the Taliban isn't going to play the game. But if you're a peaceful, loving country and you want to hold on to your cultural history, do not invite these people into your country in large numbers because they are going to destroy your society. You're going to look around and all your women, they're going to have pink hair, green hair, blacker than me, and they got blonde hair. You know, they're going to be talking slang. They're going to be sagging. They're going to be smoking weed. They're going to destroy your society. So I'm hoping that Brother Traore, as well as the others who are asking and they're asking African Americans to come back for a reason, because as it stands right now, African Americans of all the diaspora, we are closely connected to the technological advancements of science. I'm not saying that, that we don't have it in Brazil or, we don't have it in Cuba or anything like that. I'm from California. I'm from the Bay Area. I'm in San Francisco. I'm in Oakland. 30 miles south of San Francisco is San Jose, Silicon Valley. So we are interconnected with STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. We're just not applying ourselves. We're not training our children to be interested in STEM. Again, we're going off to college, universities, getting bullshit degrees. 98% of us. Some of us, myself, we have no degree. But he is inviting the African American in particular to come help rebuild Africa. Why is this important? Again, let's look at China. 1948, China declared itself free of colonialism. The CCP came into power, which is the Chinese Communist Party. China, at that point of its history, was basically an agrarian culture meaning that 90% of the people were farmers, herdsmen, and the like. We're talking about 1948. From 1948 until 2004, that is 76 years. Have you looked at China? I mean, just bring up Chinese societies. They have magnificent infrastructure in China. 76 years. We're talking, these people had to undergo the Cultural Revolution. They had to be re-educated. Because if they weren't re-educated, then they would have stayed in the agrarian mindset. China has surpassed the United States in technology and critical infrastructure. The United States in no kind of way can compete with Chinese manufacturing, technological development, or any other sort. So it's very important that from this day forward, we have to start thinking STEM. This is how we can contribute to the development of Africa, or even right here in America. That's another reason why I created this channel. 10,000 black men. We need 10,000 black men to come together and say, okay, and it's only going to work if we are located in the same area. Right now, I'm down here in Memphis, Tennessee. If you don't like Memphis, Memphis is a failed city. The reason why Memphis is a failed city, Memphis is a very historical city. When you talk about Memphis, Tennessee, you're talking about black history in America. But there's no infrastructure in Memphis, Tennessee. There's no bus system. Yeah, you have a few buses. I think, when I last done my research, Memphis is, we're not talking about Germantown, Cordova, any of those, I guess you would call them, any of those enclaves or suburbs, because they really should be Memphis. Memphis is 328 square miles. And I think, last I checked, they might have 200 buses in Memphis. There are no trains in Memphis, no subway system, potholes everywhere. Don't even think about driving a luxury car in Memphis. A fast Porsche sports car, because you're going to tear that car up. With all the potholes down here in Memphis, and I think my camera might be shaking because I am holding this. I hope it ain't shaking too bad. Let me switch hands here. My arm might be getting tired. But Memphis is the classic example of a failed city. I think Memphis might have, and I could be wrong. I'm trying to find the numbers as to this, as to how much money the state disperses to Tennessee every year. To Memphis every year. Nashville has a almost $3 billion budget. And when I was doing the research, I looked at Memphis. And I'm hoping that this is wrong. I'm praying that I did not look at the correct data. I'm praying that I didn't look at the correct data. But I think Memphis, as a city, only has like a 260, let's just up it a little bit, $280 million budget. Let's say it again, a $280 million budget. The city of San Francisco, which is its own city and county, has a $14 billion budget. So you have to ask yourself, why is all the money going to Nashville? Why are they pouring over $2 billion in Nashville and giving Memphis which is a historical city. It's nothing historical about Nashville, not in comparison to Memphis, Tennessee. But Memphis only gets, let's up it a little bit more, $300 million. And they got to disperse. The police department is going to take 50 of that right off the bat. In any city, the police has the largest budget of all the sectors. They eat up 50% of the budget in every city. But again, let's get back to Africa. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about Memphis being a failed city in another video. But again, for all of you brothers who call yourself the passport bros, you guys also inspired me to make this channel because I am a criminal, ex-criminal. I don't engage in crime anymore. And I can't get a passport and just, hey man, I'm gonna go down to I'm finna go get me some twat down in Costa Rica. So I gotta fight on the ground on which I stand, which is right here in America. So a lot of us, we're not gonna be able to leave and just be a passport bro. But it's like I told you, you guys are one influence on me starting this channel. Because I recognize that a lot of us, we can't leave. And, there's reasons why we can't leave. Me, personally, I'm an ex-felon. So until I get that stuff cleared up and able to get a passport, I'm stuck behind the iron wall. And let there be no mistake about it. America is the iron wall. It's got a glare coming back there. So some of us can't leave. We have to stay here. So Traore is inviting those who can leave, passport bros. See, this is how we're gonna know if you guys are serious or not. You say you want traditional wives, you want traditional families. We got the Alliance of Sahel, the Sahel Alliance. They're inviting you to come back and help them build their society. They asked for us in particular. So, we're talking about critical infrastructure. I'm going to read off my notes here. And I think you might be able to go to the Homeland Security website and it explains what critical infrastructure is. Now, I'm just going to, read the different sectors. I'm not going to go all into it. That's going to be on you guys to do. And again, once we build up this channel, once we get the staff that we need, then we'll be more in-depth in our analysis and elaboration of, of critical infrastructure. But until now, I'm just one man. I'm like Kevin Samuels. I'm just one man. You can't expect for me to save the world. Hell, I need saving. Anyway, critical infrastructure. Number one, the chemical sector. Chemical sector. Number two, commercial facilities sector. 3, communications sector. 4, critical manufacturing sector. 5, dams sector. You need to be able to build dams. The Chinese are all over Africa building dams. 6, defense industrial base. Yes, we need to be able to build tanks. We need to be able to build hypersonic missiles. We need to be able to launch spy satellites up into space. We need to do what the Russians do. They are the best when it comes to electronic warfare. This is why the United States, their weapons aren't performing so good over in the Ukraine war. So now they sitting back scratching their heads because they was used to beating up on us over in Afghanistan, Iraq. People who can't fight back. But now they're going up against the Russians. And the Russians right now, I'm telling you, the Russians will whoop the United States military on any battlefield on the planet, including America.